Welcome to a new episode of Books Review podcast by Dreamer's Jotter. Today, I review the book Whole Numbers and Half Truths, written by Rukmini S. Do numbers lie? All humans lie, but the smart ones manipulate your perception of numbers and statistics. For example, consider the official statistics published by the National Crime Records Bureau, NCRB. If a person is raped and murdered, there will be at least 2 cases registered against the perpetrator, Section 326, for rape, and 302, for murder. However, these statistics only include such cases under the heading of murders, and not rape. Why? Because, only most heinous crime is recorded in these stats, and murder is considered more heinous than rape. It was only after Rukmini, the author, reported this that NCRB started including it, at least, in their disclaimer. The government also demonstrated such a poor attitude during the COVID pandemic. If a lung cancer patient died of COVID, the cause of death is recorded as cancer instead of COVID to artificially ameliorate the death toll. Rukmini busts many myths that we, non-economists, generally think are true. Many Indians, from small kirana shop proprietors to a senior manager in a software industry, believe they are in the middle-class income range. In fact, a very few people are rich while the rest are poor, or close to being poor. The book highlights how difficult it is to classify people into income categories, or define a poverty line due to insufficient high-quality data on people's incomes and expenditures. The most worrying datum, at least for me, is that young age, or education do not make an Indian more progressive or liberal as many expect. There is very little variation between old people and youngsters regarding their choices in issues like interfaith or inter-caste marriages, girls choosing work over family, etc. Similarly, income level also doesn't have much impact. Quote, about 1 in every 3 young women was of the opinion that women should not work after marriage, and over 2 out of every 5 favored the idea of an obedient wife. Unquote. On a positive note, like the rest of the world, more Indians are becoming liberal in their attitudes towards personal freedom. For example, the proportion of Indians who believe that homosexuality is never justifiable has significantly decreased. A point that opposition tried to use, in vain, against the Modi government during the 2019 general elections campaign was the unemployment. Firstly, it is important to note that determining an individual's employment status is very difficult. Most Indians still work in the informal sector where they may work multiple jobs for a few months, and then not work at all for another few months. Rukmini also draws attention to the dismal state of formal sector employees. Quote, 7 out of 10 salaried workers are in jobs with no written contract, and over half of them do not have any paid leave or social security benefits. Unquote. It is well known that most surveys indicate that unemployment rates have been high over the past few years. Another dismaying fact is that female labor force participation rate, LFPR, which measures the proportion of women working or looking for work, has been declining from 42.6%, 1993-94 to a historic low of 23.3% in 2017-18. However, it has since improved and reached close to 29.5% in 2021-22. One potential reason for this trend is that women are spending more time on household chores and childrearing. Whether this trend is positive or negative depends on your perspective. The chapter related to population becomes politically intriguing. The fertility rate in South India has fallen so low that it is projected that by 2036, an average Tamil man will be over 12 years older than an average Bihari man due to demographic shifts caused by this trend. Redrawing parliament seats according to the new census may lead to a crisis due to the wide gap between the share of southern and northern states. The debate between administrative and survey data is not a new one. However, the current government seems to have a bigger problem with any survey data that contradicts their carefully cultivated narrative than previous governments. It has prevented very important surveys from being made public. The 2021 census is yet to be conducted. Surveys are generally independent of the political influence and the surveyors actually visit people's homes. Rukmini argues, rightly in my opinion, that surveys should be corrected and improved rather than dismissed outright. A democracy can thrive only when you understand what people are, have, need, and want, and better data is essential for achieving this goal. For more reviews, log on to dreamersjotter.com, or check the description. Thank you for listening. Bye.